is the one and only Sam Sheffield in the Monster Energy S13 Shop PS13.
Yeah, not the ideal start for Sam as he misses clip one and makes contact with the barrel going around the first roundabout here. Not the ideal start for him. This has proven to be a very tricky layout for the drivers this morning. A lot of the guys struggled to get that line right. Looked at me going to that first roundabout. Back out there.
That's the line now. Jake Crouch in this incredible S15 RB26 underneath the bonnet as he flicks into the wall.
Just about manages to avoid taking the rear end off that car at the wall. And look at this, in really fast, really fluid through the first roundabout. He's looking quick out there.
It certainly is, Eddie, as he flicks that car now into that second roundabout, gets the back end of that S15 Sylvia nice and close to the hay bales, goes around that roundabout. Now he's going to thread the needle. A transition through the gate he comes, avoids that tire wall, gets right into once again!
Spoiler off the wall.
Whoa.
Incredible. And across the line.
Right, and off the line we come with Harry Love in this incredible 2JZ powered Nissan 200 XS4 in it again to the wall. These guys not messing around, Eddie.
Harry feeling very loose, kicks up a little bit of dirt as he entered into the roundabout. Nicely done as he just makes that look so easy now into the tight and technical section, as you say, in treading the needle, and looks to fill that outer zone, trying to avoid making contact with those hay bales. Comes back to the team. Some young fans there showing their appreciation. He takes back onto the wall, spoiler off the wall again. Incredible stuff we're seeing.
Phillips in this supercharged V8, Chevrolet V8 350Z come down, flicks that car, it's tentative on the wall now as Ian Biz Phillips gets into the outside zone, just flicks some dust into the face of the crowd, he avoids the end of the pit wall as Biz now flicks that car through the pit gate down into the roundabout. Going to try and set himself up nice and wide into that second roundabout. He goes as the headlights shine through the trees. Ian Phillips flicks it through the gate post, avoids the tire wall, tries to go close to the wall. Yeah, really nice run as well. Now we go through the lanes. Paul Cunnington now in his 2JZ S15 as he flicks that car. Got a lot of angle to the wall. Now flicks the dust up once again into that roundabout. A little wide, hard enough to throttle as Paul Cunnington now works his way through, flicks the car through the gate. Transitions back as he now goes into the second roundabout, puts the back end of the S15 into the outside zone. You can see him flicking it nice and wide. Now a dangerous flick through that narrow part of the circuit, through the gate he comes, he flicks it towards the wall. The two comes into the wall across the line. Nice job.
Yeah, really nice him. Back behind the wheel of this incredible GTA 6. Really nice into this one. Nice and smooth as he locks up those. Just as we were saying it, locks up those front wheels. You could see him just not able to scrub that speed, and it's going to be a 0 on the board, and our first 0 on the board.
It is our first 0 on the board, and he will be one. We might see another of our last qualifiers as Paul Smokey Smith, one of the oldest drifters out there. If you're an old school drift fan, you'll remember Paul Smokey Smith from many, many moons ago. Now steps out of retirement this weekend, does a lot of demo driving at Goodwood motor circuit for the Festival of Speed and certain other shows, and likes to get back out there but doesn't want the stress of full-time competition.
Here's the thing. Paul Smokey Smith sits now last place.
The biggest car on the grid is Hayden Cruikshank in this incredible V8 Pro-Charge JZX 100, 1,000 horsepower underneath the bonnet of this thing, and when he hits the throttle, it absolutely destroys the tyres. There's some colour sound experiments. Synonymous for all the light shows at many, many festivals and concerts across the world. Hayden Cruikshank gets that JZX 100 around the outside zone, now tries to flick that car that is wider than the gate, through the gate, up to the wall. He stands on the throttle with Hayden Cruikshank.
You know,
Hugh Saville, yep, his teammate in this incredible V8 Turbo Toyota Corolla 886 as Hugh Saville, the sportsman, fires his car through, looks into that outside zone, nice line as Hugh Saville now flicks that car through, looks for the gate. This is going to be easy through the gate for him. It's tiny, it's like a Hot Wheels car as he gets into that roundabout.
Is this the perfect chassis for this track? I think it is. I think it is. And you know what, Hugh Saville, incredible driver as well, such talent.
Island, ladies and gentlemen, get your phone out. This one's going to be extreme. Kevin Quinn, ladies and gentlemen, flicks this S15. Big angle! Can he pull it off? And he can! As Kevin Quinn hits that level limiter. 2JZ, absolutely singing. As Quinn now fires his way through, on angle through the gate, Eddie. This is insane. As Kevin Quinn gets wide into the outside zone, opens up the throttle now, starts to smoke out. The crowd down there by the gate. Can he flick it back through the gate? He can. And Kevin Quinn opens up the throttle.
Backdrop we have here for this event. Where would you see it? But here we go. First of all, report driver Martin Richards. And that incredible R32. And the only man, well, one of the only, actually the only competitor here this weekend has had a bit of practice on this track. He's involved in the setup of it. So he's very comfortable out there already before he arrived here this morning, and showing just what he's capable of. Obviously, Martin, one of the most decorated UK drivers. Oh yeah, hits it off the wall. another really nice run. See what the standard is and then try and push it on. And it is going to be Tessa, the only lady driver on the grid here this weekend. She wasn't feeling too confident, but look at this, Ian.
Oh wow, yes.
She's going to make this work. Takes the rear bumper off the car. She comes into the first roundabout. Absolutely on it. She's to get that car back on angle. And she comes through that tight section now into the second roundabout going Tessa, and she is really starting to come alive. Look at the element of competition. Is at her best. Loving it right now. No different to any of his previous builds. As he fires it now, it's going to be difficult for him. You can just see he has to be very tentative with the steering, but he manages to get that car through that section quite nicely. He's doing a really good job so far. In the second roundabout, where you don't just see, small bits of what he's actually doing there, but he's no problem with speed. He fires back now, throws it on a big angle and takes it on the wall. You know what? I think off the line it is Louis Edwards in a supercharged E36. Just look at this thing. Incredible. And watch how good he can be around this section. Really nice, but he just makes it look so easy. Very little lift on the accelerator. That car on forward momentum. Nice and fluid now into the second and final roundabout. This guy, I'm going to tip watch later in the battle. Take down.
Across the line, Louis Edwards. Incredible car, very, very fast and makes a ton of smoke as Ryan Hughes now flicks that car to angle, goes for the wall, nice and close. Ryan Hughes gets on the handbrake, slows it down, little flick of the dust as he works his way around the roundabout, super wide, avoids the end of the pit wall now as Ryan Hughes through the gate into this second roundabout. Back on the throttle once again, a big clutch pinch going to be needed there for Ryan Hughes. He lights up the tyres on the back of that Toyota GT86. Now back through the gate he goes, flicks it to angle. Oh, we see a crash! And Ryan Hughes getting a little ahead of himself there, Eddie.
Well, you know what, Ian, we said these guys were going to be pushing it out there, and Ryan Hughes proving that we were correct.
Exactly that.
I think he got a little bit wrong. Maybe he thought he was carrying more speed than he actually was.
Barkley, the showman in this incredible carbon Kevlar BMW S13 as he flicks it to angle, nice line, close to the wall. He's already a tail light missing from Barkley as he now puts it into that roundabout. Anti-lag popping and banging very close to the end of the pit wall there. As Barkley now flicks through the gate, looks for that second roundabout, tiny so far from George Barkley as he works his way around. But now the dangerous bit coming up, the bit that catches a lot of these drivers out as they transition through and try and flick it through that pit gate. He can, nice and close to those fails, up close and personally to the wall. Across the line goes George Barkley with Jack Shanahan as he flicks that car across the circuit. Big angle from Shanahan. Look at that, 90 degrees to the wall as Shanahan dabs the handbrake, gets into the outside zone, fulfills it completely. Almost hits the end of the pit wall as Shanahan brings the rev limiter through. He goes down into that second roundabout, back on throttle once again. A big punch kick from Shanahan now as he works his way back out. Through the gate he comes as he flicks it to angle. Full throttle from Shanahan and across the line, makes the noise! Oh! And he nearly crashed back to his car.
Ready to say it, and that's...
Than Adrian yesterday.
I like that. Alright, need one of these!
Technical breakdowns that happen all the time. It's just happening always in the final. They're taking second step on the podium. Make some noise for the man that put it all on the line. Ryan Hughes! Give it up for the one and only Jack Shanahan! Give it up for your trip. Final three, Martin Richards, Ryan Hughes and Jack Shanahan!
It's part of the experience. It's part of the experience.